Okay, friends, here we go. There's my lovely background. Now I'm going to come around, like I always do, in these unedited videos. Crawl around here. Oh, this is going to be complicated this time, because I have a lot of stuff. Okay, let me see. I might have to stand up. You can see my sweatpants, and you can see how this hoodie has these super long tassels that hang down really far in the front. And I usually have to tuck them in so the cat and the dog don't jump up and try to play with them. You'll see why I had to do this. I have a lot of fun things around me. Okay, I'm going to pick up my headphones, my earbuds, and put them in. Make sure we've got sound here. And then say to you, hey there, welcome back. Today, I'm already getting amused with myself. I always do when I do these unedited videos. They are very entertaining to me. To myself. I hope they're entertaining to you. Today, we are doing some unedited ASMR, which means I just pushed record and you get to see everything of how I get into position here. You get to see any mistakes that I make, anything that goes awry. You get to be an insider and get the scoop on what it really is like when I'm filming ASMR. So I hope you all are doing well. I did make a tiny little list this time of a few things that I wanted to remember to share with you. And first of all, I just wanted to wish you all well, and I wanted to say how thankful I am for all of you. Justin and I are getting geared up. We are going to be leaving this weekend to go on a road trip to visit some family for the Thanksgiving week. So I will not be uploading a video next week. I'll be focusing on spending time with my loved ones, and that will be really, really nice. I'm very much looking forward to it because last year at Thanksgiving, I was really sick. I went to visit my family and we ended up all getting COVID, and so it was not a very fun Thanksgiving week. We just all kind of had to take care of each other and didn't really get to have any of our festivities, but it was good that we were there to take care of each other when we needed it. So this year I am excited to do a lot of cooking and hanging out and having fun. And it'll be exciting because we'll be taking Foxy on her first road trip with us, and we are very unique in that we travel with our dog. We always traveled with Hazel and our cat. We take our cat Yurichi with us. We put her in her carrier and put her in the back seat next to the dog, and she does great. It's just a one-day road trip. We don't have to stay overnight anywhere, and it takes us about 9 hours. And she does great in the car. And so we take both the dog and the cat with us, and we have a fun adventure. So since we will be celebrating Thanksgiving, I did just want to take a moment and thank all of you for being here with me for another year, for another season, for those of you who have been here a long time, and those of you who are new to the channel. I'm just really thankful for this community and for each and every one of you who takes the time to push play, to choose one of my videos, to take some of your important time and your brain space, and to let me be a little part of your life and hopefully give you a little bit of relaxation, a little bit of entertainment, a little bit of something positive in your life. And I know that a lot of people are going through a really hard time right now. Fall is a season of grief to begin with. I think it's a time when a lot of our emotions come up, sadness and regret and nostalgia and missing people who we don't have in our lives anymore, missing pets, missing old relationships or old phases of our lives. I think it's just a time when a lot of that comes up. And of course, there's a lot of conflict and a lot of turmoil in the world, a lot of things that just hurt our hearts, where other people are hurting and suffering, and we each have our own challenges that we're facing. And I know lately I've just been thinking about a lot of people in my life that I care about that have a lot of challenges, and that just makes my heart hurt sometimes. And I do everything I can to support those people and to lift them up and to help them in any ways that I can, but none of us can do everything. We can't fix everything. We can't make it all right. We can't control things. There are so many things that are out of our control. And so I just want to say to you right now that I see you and I'm proud of you, and I know you're doing the very best you can every day, just like I am. We all do the best with where we are and what we have at the time. That's something I like to say to myself and to past versions of myself. Sometimes in the fall I have a tendency to look back on things in the past and question decisions or say, why did I waste so much of my life focusing on this thing that I don't value anymore, or that wasn't important, or that, all that sort of thing. And what I like to tell myself is that I did the best I could at the time with what I had and who I was. I did the very best I could. And something that my therapist always says is at this time. So I like to think about where I am at this time and doing the very best that I can for myself and for others and for the world around me at this time. And that might be different from what it was in the past or different from what it was in the future. And I can't determine all those factors right now. All I can do is be in this moment at this time and be me. So I just hope that at this time you will be you and know that you are valuable. You know what I always like to say, you are lovable, you are valuable, and you are irreplaceable. And that is true. So whatever you might be up against these days, whatever you might be struggling with in your heart or in your mind or in your physical body or in your circumstances, just know that I'm thinking about you and I care about you and I'm thankful for you. So I wanted to just start out by saying that. And in these unedited videos, I never quite know where things will go. I did bring a few little props, triggers with me, and I just kind of got thinking that this is probably the last video I will do that's sort of a fall video, because by the time we get back from our trip, it will be December. The way the calendar is this year, Thanksgiving is late, so when we get home, it'll be December, and I'll be getting into thinking about holiday-type videos. So I thought we should spend a little last time, one more time, with some pumpkin tapping. I have a gourd, too. I almost picked up the gourd first, but then I picked up the pumpkin for drama. And whenever I do unedited videos, I always forget to do a thumbnail. So maybe I will pose right now with this pumpkin. And you'll get one more pumpkin in your home page of videos, in your subscription list, whatever you would call it. I do love the sound of pumpkin tapping. It's a great trigger, and I don't think I used this pumpkin in any other videos. I had a couple of smaller pumpkins that I used in several videos, but this one is one that when Justin and I and two of our friends went to a fall festival in a nearby town, which helped inspire my painting your face at a fall festival video. this big hill. It's actually like a road. It's an actual road that cars go on that they block off. And the kids roll the pumpkins down the hill, and chase them. And try to keep up with their pumpkin. It's pretty hysterical to watch. It's really fun. And at the end, they had a bunch of pumpkins left over. Like the ones... This pumpkin's not being as tappy. Come on, pumpkin, tap for me, honey. There we go, I'll do it this way. And they had a bunch of pumpkins left that hadn't been claimed by kids for the pumpkin roll. So they were just giving them away to people as they were leaving the festival. So I took this one, and I thought it was quite a lovely little specimen. So we will keep enjoying it. I'll probably actually take it with me when we go, and then we can use it as a centerpiece at our family Thanksgiving, where we're traveling to, because that's nice to have. So I'll tap on the Pumpity Pumpkin. And then I'll show you, maybe I'll pick this one back up. It's actually a little big to tap on, but I wanted you to see it because it's so pretty. This is a gourd. Look at this gourd, isn't it fun? That Justin picked out at a little farm stand and country store that we go to. And we always like to get some decorative gourds every fall. And this one was just so charming. It's got such a nice shape and nice colors. And when I was getting ready to do this video, I was downstairs and I was like, oh my goodness, I have not shown this gourd in a video. That cannot be. I must show this gourd. So, here is the gourd. Here is the gourd for your viewing pleasure. Look, I can even hold it up like this and hold it up like a little umbrella. It can be my little gourd umbrella. Or this could be like, a trunk. If this were a gourd creature, this could be its long snout. All sorts of things that you can play with a gourd. And I'll tap on it for a little while. I am kind of in a silly mood today, friends. That's where we are. There has been so much heaviness lately, and I was really sick. I had really bad bronchitis. I had to go to the doctor and get medicine, and it was the first time I'd had to do that in a long time. So I'm really thankful to be feeling a lot better, and my mental health has definitely been challenged in this season. I've had a lot of ups and downs, as I'm sure a lot of us have. It's kind of just this time of year, I think, and a lot of factors involved, but today I'm feeling pretty good, and I'm thankful for any day, for any moment where I'm feeling pretty good. My little niece, you'll say, how's this going? Or what did you think of that? How's that? And she'll say, pretty good, pretty good. So, it's not a bad place to be right now, to be pretty good. And one other, do these just not, I have the mic cover on. You know what, I'm going to be bold. I'm going to take the mic cover off. Are you ready? It's kind of a cool sound, and then I'll get a little louder. I liked the mic cover. I was in the mood to have the mic cover, but yeah, I feel like you couldn't hear the tappies as well. I used that mic cover for such a long time, but I guess it's more muffly than I might have realized. Okay, that seems a little more tappy. So one of the other things I wanted to remember to mention to you in this video is I wanted to invite you, if you would like to sign up for my newsletter. Did you know I had a newsletter? Well, I haven't even really been calling it a newsletter up until now, but I do have a publication on Substack called A Little Nervy, based on a theme of nervous system type things and being a little nervy, meaning being a little bit brave and intrepid about things, having some nerve, but also being a little nervous about things, and dealing with anxiety in life, which I do a lot. And I started that, I guess about 3 years ago. And in the beginning, I was writing some articles there about kind of wellness topics when I was doing my wellness coaching training. And then I kind of transitioned to writing essays about mental health and my husband Justin's journey with his bipolar diagnosis and my processing of his recovery and healing from his manic episode. And I was writing essays kind of about that healing process and our journey. And I've shared a couple of those on this channel. I've read a couple of them aloud on this channel. And of course, I've talked a lot about that journey. And Justin is doing so wonderfully right now. Thank you for all of you who ask about him sometimes. His mental health continues to be very stable. He's doing wonderfully. He has not had any further episodes, and he's doing great at work, and he's enjoying music and life and all the things that he loves. And our relationship, has really survived a lot through that process. So, we're both still on a journey, and that will never stop, but he's doing really well. So thanks for those who continue to lift him up and for caring about us and how we're doing. But back to, that's the beauty of the unedited ramble here. Back to my newsletter. So I have this Substack, blog, whatever you want to call it, publication, letter, whatever. And, I've just been publishing things there just kind of as a place to put my words out there, but not really expecting anybody to read them that much. But I do have some subscribers. I realized recently that I have about 25 subscribers to my Substack, which is pretty cool. 25 people who want to read my writing, so that's pretty neat. And so I decided that I want to make a commitment to myself to start writing there more regularly. So I'm going to try, we'll see how it goes, I'm going to try to start publishing there twice a month, and to think of it more as like a newsletter, because for the people who are subscribed, they do get it in their email inbox. And so in each of those newsletters, I will share kind of a little mini essay of some topic, something that I'm thinking about in my life, in the realm of mental health and wellness and healing and my personal experience. And then I'll share some resources of things that are being helpful, things that are helpful to me in my personal journey of trying to feel good, and things that inspire me. And then I also want to start sharing some extra relaxation content there, because Substack has an audio element, kind of like a podcast element, which I haven't used before. And so in that little newsletter, I want to start sharing little extra audio relaxation things, embodiment practices and ASMR-esque things. I don't know exactly what. And I might also talk about like what I'm reading. I know some of you like the reading and book content. So I'm going to put a link in the description if you would like to sign up to receive my newsletter. It'll just be twice a month, nothing big, and I'm not, selling anything or anything like that, so I won't be bombarding you with anything, I promise. But if you would like to read some of my writings and just have another way to connect with me, I would love to have you as a subscriber to A Little Nervy. And we'll see how that evolves in the coming year as far as my wellness coaching practice, which I, fingers crossed, would really like to get off the ground in 2025 and start offering some more things to people in that regard. And I think my writing little publication newsletter thingy, whatever it is, will be part of that. So there are a few of you who are subscribers here that are subscribers to my newsletter, and I love connecting with you in that way. That's really cool. So, if you'd like a little more Devan in your life, feel free to check out that link and sign up. And the fact that you would want any Devan in your life always feels like a miracle to me. The fact that you welcome me in and are so kind, and the fact that you find value in who I am and what I do is just such a wonderful thing, and something that I don't take for granted, and something that gives me a lot of inspiration and a lot of encouragement and a lot of hope in my life. So thank you. Okay, so Gordy the Gourd. We took Foxy, our wonderful puppy, who is also doing very well. Thank you for those who ask about her. She is great. We've been taking her to the dog park, which is wonderful. And the other day she went swimming with a dog named Gordy. He was a yellow lab, and they went swimming in the river together. It was adorable. Okay, I think I'll pick back up this pumpkin again now that I took the mic cover off. Let's see how that sounds. I will say that I feel like going to the dog park is helping me with my social anxiety. Because it's interesting, even though I'm a person that I enjoy meeting new people and I like socializing, sometimes I have a lot of anxiety about it. And I feel like, especially, since the pandemic and everything, I'm still like out of practice for how to interact with people. And so when we go to the dog park, it's so fun because we have a wonderful dog park near us with lots of trails and fields where the dogs can run. It's a really wonderful place to practice letting Foxy be off leash and see how she does. And everybody's so nice, and you just go up to people, and the dogs say hello to each other. They kind of break the ice, and you chat with people, but you mainly just talk about the dogs. We usually introduce the dogs, like say their names, but a lot of times, you don't even introduce your human names. And you just chat for a little while about the dogs and tell the story of your dog and let the dogs play together, and don't talk about anything too serious of the world or anything. It's just like this beautiful little place where you can soak up the dog energy and have all these nice little interactions with people. And I feel like it's made me just, feel better and more comfortable with connecting with new people and having random conversations with people. So that has been a blessing. Okay, I'm going to look at my little list here. I told you I was going to be away and that I wanted to tell you a little bit about my newsletter publication. And, oh yes, that was the other thing and what I have all around me here. So since we are moving into the winter season from the fall season, and I love this sweatshirt I have on. See, I can't stay focused for too I just like the sound, pardon me, I just like the sound of this sweatshirt. So maybe I'll do a little havening touch here. This is something I've been doing, excuse me, that was a weird throat sound. That's something I've been doing a lot of lately. Here I am. Now I'm switching topics again. Are you sticking with me? This is something I've been doing a lot when I've been feeling stressed or feeling overwhelmed by energies of the world coming at me from lots of directions, and just feeling a lot of other people's stuff and trying to focus on what is really mine, what is mine to feel. Because I do a lot of breathing. I do meditations with Hello Inner Light, which is a great YouTube channel that I will link in the description. And she does a lot of havening practices, which are where you give yourself nice, soothing touch like this down your arms, or by rubbing your palms together, or by rubbing your cheeks. And you can do that just on its own. You can do that while giving yourself something to distract your mind, like, you know, going through the alphabet and doing an animal for every letter, or doing the alphabet backwards, or, you know, any of the kind of things that I have used, like if I'm having panicky feelings, those kinds of exercises. Or you can just breathe and use the havening touch to soothe your nervous system. And I do find it to be really helpful. So if you've been feeling stressed, I recommend that. I have done a few videos where I've walked you through some of these techniques. I will maybe link to a couple of those videos too. They're old favorites on this channel that might be helpful. So anyway, wanted to give you a little bit of sweatshirt sounds. I love my gold eagle sweatshirt. This one's been around the block, so it's getting a little warm, but it's very cozy. Okay, stay focused, Devan. Stay focused, stay focused. What I wanted to talk about was that since we're moving into the winter season, and I'll be recording some holiday, Christmassy, festive type videos, I hope. I am going to, when we get back, I'm kind of in transition now, I'm going to kind of redecorate my bookshelf behind me to be more festive for the holiday season. So I've kind of had this kind of like fall thing going on. I took a lot of my books off because I realized the books that were on the shelf, I never want to like take them off and read them because then it messes up my shelf. So I was neglecting those books, and they're some of my favorite books. So I'm going to try to figure out a way to, I don't know, make this decor behind me be something that I can change up with the seasons, and not have things that I'm needing that I would like to use outside of videos be here. Does that make sense? Anyway, I am going to put some festive things here. And so I've had this little, like this is a little spice grinder that I want to take back down and put in my kitchen, but I had it up here for October because I thought it looked, you know, kind of cool, like a cauldron for my fall scene. And I like the owl bookends. They're very fallish, and I've got a pine cone and some things. But I have also, you might have noticed, are these hand movements? Does this count as hand movements? I don't even know what I'm doing. Up here behind me, I don't point behind me a lot in videos. Maybe I should do that more often. You might have noticed that on my bookshelf for the fall season, I've had some cool pottery things. So I wanted to show you, see what it sounds like more closely, a few of these things. So these are sculptures. I'll be bold and call them sculptures that I made when I took pottery in college. So that was back in like 2000, 2001 that I was taking pottery. So these are like antiques now. And I did this series. I did a lot of cool, I was very into like I don't know. I don't even know what I would call it, but like improvisational sculpture where I would make things and let them. Was really into hand building, and I still am, where I would let things take on a structure kind of as the clay wanted to. These are actually a little more structured because I made them as boxes, but I did this whole series of these that kind of look like eyes, where I made boxes, okay, and then built boxes out of clay and then put these lips on the top. And then how I got this kind of glassy effect is I bought marbles and placed the marbles in the top of it while it was firing, and then the marbles melted and gave this cool glassy effect. And these red marbles actually ended up having some plastic in them, which I didn't realize, which gave the ones with those this cool kind of like melty, oozy effect. So my pottery teacher taught us that technique of how to melt glass like that into a piece. Isn't that neat? So I think these are really neat, and I've had them, obviously since college. I made, maybe a dozen of these of all different shapes and sizes. I just have 3 of them here. A couple of them have not survived the years. A couple of them broke over the years, and a bunch of them I gave to people. So I like to think that some of my friends, people I was friends with in college, might still have one of these. A lot of them were smaller. They were more like this size or smaller. Might still have these sitting on their bookshelves somewhere or something. A little piece of Devan original pottery. But I just wanted to show you these up close in case maybe you had noticed them in the background of a video and been like, what are those eyeball things? There's something cool that I made back in college. And I am going to do a video in the new year, I promise, if I don't do it in December, where I will show you the pottery I've been making in the pottery classes I've just been taking that I took this year, because I really enjoyed that. I showed one of my mugs in a video, but the pottery class I've been taking recently, I've been doing more functional pieces like bowls and mugs and canisters and things that I can actually use in real life. Oh, that's neat. But these things I made in college were more artsy, they were more sculpture. I was being more creative. And that was a big deal for me because I never really thought of myself as an artist or an artsy type person. So it was cool that I explored that side of me. That's nice. That one's nice. I didn't try that with the other ones. No, that one's not as tinkly. Still kind of nice though. And then I wanted to show you, and these were the things I was climbing over when I was getting here, these kind of slightly bigger sculptures. Let me see. Okay, because you might have seen up here on this top shelf, you couldn't really see it all, but I had this one sitting up there. And this is a cool sculpture that I made in college. That's a hand-built vase, a slab-built vase. So it's built out of long, thin slabs of clay that you stack up and adhere to each other and build your form. And most of the time when you do that, you would build kind of a regular shape. You would build, a cylinder, or you would take it out gradually and make a bowl. And my technique that I liked to do was to start building up and then let the slabs kind of fall in on each other, kind of let gravity do its thing, and then I would cut these holes, and then I let this one really flail out at the top and make this big lip at the top. And so I really liked making these non-traditional, funky vessels. And so that was kind of my thing. That was kind of my little speciality. of things that I made in college, and this was one of a series of 4 that I made, and I have one of the other ones that started small and got bigger. I think one of them has not survived. It broke a few years ago. I mean, it's kind of amazing that I've kept all these for all these years and nothing's ever happened to most of them. But I've always loved this one. I loved how I was able to have this lip come out so wide, but not completely collapse. And these glazes are so cool. This is stoneware, which is why the parts that aren't glazed look like stone on the bottom. Does this? No, I don't even think this one has my initials on it, but I claim it as mine. So I'm really proud of this sculpture. I love it. And it sounds pretty cool. So if you saw this sitting up on my shelf in some of my fall Halloween-y videos, I wanted you to get to see the whole thing because it's cool. Okay, I'll gently put that down. And then this is a smaller one in that series that I also had up on the shelf. I always thought this one kind of looked like a heart, like an anatomical heart, like the valves and chambers and things. So you can see that one, how it has these two. Oh, they're a little dusty. I did dust them before this. And this little part over on the side. And so again, I would just start building up the sides, but then I would see what the clay wanted to do and let things happen naturally. And I've always really loved this one. So that's a pretty cool Devan original. Maybe I'll put that up here for now. And then, okay, I'm going to have to, my foot's starting to fall asleep anyway, which always happens in these videos. Okay, let's see if I can rearrange myself. Okay. Oh, foot against the pumpkin and my little list. I think I did everything on my list anyway. Showing my pottery. Okay. This is a big, kind of a jug vessel. And this is the first one of these that I made in college, where I was building a vessel, a hand-built vessel, but then I just let things happen naturally, and I didn't worry about keeping a regular shape. I hope you can see it well. And what inspired me in this was I wanted to make a vessel, but that invoked movement and invoked like someone dancing. I thought of this kind of as like an arm and perhaps like a female form holding her skirt and dancing, but as a vessel, you know, I mean, it's a jug. I don't know that I've ever actually like, you know, poured anything out of it, but functionality wise, it could be a jug or a vessel. So this one's really heavy, but I wanted to show it to you because I'm proud of it. So maybe I'll do a little bit right there. This is more of a show and tell than a triggers video, I guess, this part. So I'll put that down. And then let me see back here. Can you see this? This is another one. Oh gosh, that's not a good sound. But this is another one. Oh, maybe this one's good for tapping. This is another non-traditional vessel that I made that I wanted to look very earthen, and I think that came off well. And this one taps pretty well. So, like I said, I will do a video sometime in the winter where I'll show you my pottery more recently, and if there are other pieces from the past that I can round up, I will show you. But it's just really cool because I did pottery, 20 years ago, almost 25 years ago, and then hadn't done it in all the time since, and then decided to start taking pottery classes again, and that's been really fulfilling for me, and I have enjoyed it, and I just like to share with you all the different parts of my creativity. Okay, I'm not going to try to put that back on the shelf since that made such a loud noise. Okay, I think, is that everything? Is that everything? I mean, this is something I made in college. Just a little kind of funky shaped bowl. Oh, it's got some baptisia pods in it. Oh, I forgot I had these. That's a good little fall trigger that I don't think I've done yet this year. Because when I did a garden tour video, I couldn't find any of these that were rattly. These might be from last fall. These are the seed pods of my baptisia flowers, and they dry and form these little rattlies. I think I used these in my Ursula video, my Ursula roleplay. I used them as one of her ingredients in your spell. Oh yes, I did, because this was what I used as the vessel where I made your concoction for you to drink as part of the spell. I'm glad I picked those up. That's fun. Okay, I'll put that down over here. And then, yes, I've showed you before. This is a little cup, two-handled cup that I actually made on the pottery wheel in college. That's a fun one. And then I've showed you before this little spirit ball rattle that I made in college. Okay, so I could go on and on with the Pottery Show and Tell, but that's probably good for now. I hope that you're asleep. I hope that you're asleep. I hope that my pottery ramblings made you go to sleep. Let me look at my little list one more time. Yeah, so there will be holiday content coming up, and I have a lot of old holiday content from the last 4 years. So I think I might make a compilation video, like 5 hours of Christmassy ASMR or something like that for you, because that would be fun. And then, of course, I have my long video of reading All of A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, which is fun. And so I'll definitely share a lot of those old videos on the community tab as well throughout December. So if you're new to the channel, and I'll share my holiday playlist, because there is a lot of old stuff that's fun that you might enjoy. So if there's anything in particular you'd like to see, as always, let me know. Surprised my hair hasn't gotten in my way more. My hair's getting really long. I've been letting it grow. I haven't gotten it cut since last February, so we'll see how long I go before I think I need to shorten it up a little bit. But I think we're pretty good here. Okay, so I'm going to move things, because I know when I do these unedited videos, it's not like I have to do the opening and closing and crawl over here and crawl over. But I mean, that is editing, obviously, I mean, I do... Can I get my foot back in here? Yes. That is editing. I edit out that beginning part and that ending part. So if I'm going to make a truly unedited video, then I don't want to. I have tissues over there, just in case I needed them. If I'm going to make a truly unedited video, I kind of want it to be from start to finish, from when I push record to when I push stop. And I'm actually really proud, because the other times I've made unedited videos, both times I've had to make one edit in the video because something dramatic has happened. Once there was a really, really loud crashing noise, I think, and then the other time my power went out, and so my whole setup kind of paused and I had to have an edit there. But I think we've gone through this whole time, fingers crossed for the last minute here, that I won't have to make any edits to this video, so that I can actually call it completely unedited ASMR. Well, thank you, friends. We'll end with a little shaky here. Maybe I'll end with the gourd again, because that's a good time. Me and the gourd. Look how festive I look. How matching we are. It's nice. thank you for hanging out with me. I'm wishing you all the best. I really hope that you're getting some rest in this season. And as we move into the holiday season, which can get really hectic, I hope you will take care of yourself and do the things that are meaningful to you, but to leave space for there to be downtime and rest as well. And know that whatever you do or don't do for the holidays is fine. That it's okay to take care of yourself. It's okay to take things slow. It's okay to opt out of anything that doesn't make sense for you. And I just wish you peace and joy and hope and love in your heart. So take good care of yourself. Rest well. And I will see you again soon. So now I'm going to put down the gourd. Gourdy the gourd? Yes, I think I'll have to call him Gourdy the gourd. And I think I left enough of a path here for myself. So I'm going to take out the headphones, which is always a little change in atmosphere here, going from hearing myself on the mic to normal sound. So I'm going to say goodbye again and come out from behind here, crawl around to the back of my phone and turn things off and say farewell. Bye-bye, friends. Take care.